Hey there, good morning, guys. Welcome to Get Going Fast, place where we're getting into this excellent hobby of AI and hopefully sort of a quick and efficient manner in which you actually might learn something. Imagine that, yo. So, LTX, gosh, we got so much stuff going on. Our frame pack, our LTX, people still talking about one. I tell you, it is a cornucopia of AI generating goodness that is going on these days, and we are the recipients of that. So this is pretty exciting. As I was telling you, I was going to be bringing the GOFT models, the quantized workflow for LTX, which is what we're going to do. Actually, these are already available over on the Get Going Fast page here. We got a model manager that is just going to get you going. Just throw it into your company UI, and it's going to download the models, put them in the right place for you, all of that good stuff. But today we are going to actually show you how to use this model of this workflow. It's a little bit, I won't say it's convoluted. It's got a lot of stuff going on though. But as you're going to find with most of this stuff, the vast majority of the workflows on there are stuff that you're just going to kind of ignore. Once you know what it is, you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You don't really need it. So there you go. We're going to go through it. I'm going to show you how to use it, and I will give you some basic, there's not a lot to learn about how to download it, but we'll go through it anyways. But before we do that, I do want to thank you for liking the channel and subscribing. I want to thank you for your gifts. Sometimes you hit that super thanks, and that really helps me because this is what we do full time, because we love you guys. We love this stuff. So thank you for being part of that. Go find a stranger on the street someday and just today and just ask them what their thoughts about generative AI is and where they think it's heading in the future. And I'm sure that will spark an interesting conversation. So, and be sure to tell them about Get Going Fast. So thank you very much for doing that. In the meanwhile, we are going to move on with the LTX 13b workflow. Again, these are quants. So we're going to be looking at quants. I'm going to show you a little bit about the quality difference that takes place, because there's definitely some quality difference as you're going down lower and you're going up. But the thing is, we're going to get in the game, yo. We all want to be in the game. Put me in the game, coach, yo. All right, well, let's get on with the yelling right now. All righty, so to get going, we are going to head over to this repo, okay? And this is the workflow we're going to be using. So it's from this one, it looks like Tim Becker, okay? WSBAG-NSV1. I have no idea what that means, but whatever, okay? So this is a pretty good one, and this is what it looks like. We're going to be using it. We'll go through this. If you cannot find that in your searches, you can go to cognidil.ai, just click on the blog, okay? And up here, you're going to see one here that says LTX 13b, the goof workflow, okay? And just download it, or it'll take you over to the site. And then once you're there, go down to here and just download this example workflow, okay? There it is. To download that, you can actually just we can do a couple things. You can click raw and then get the URL there, but probably the easiest way, there's your download link, same thing. Or you can just right click it and save as, okay? So easy peasy, extra squeezy. Let's move on to actually looking at this thing. So this bad boy pops up, and it looks a little bit intimidating, okay? At first, just keep in mind that the vast majority of this we're not going to be using, okay? So again, he's taken, this should look familiar to you, because basically what he's done is taken the one that they gave us, the original one for the FP8 models and all that, and he's already bypassed all the upscaler stuff. So that's good, because that it's just weird that it's by default, and the other one it's undone, because you get the thing done in like 60 seconds, and then it takes another 300 seconds to get that part done. So that ain't no good. But he goes ahead and gets rid of that as well. You're going to notice here he's added the Sage Attention Optimizations, FP16, your T-cache optimization. So again, Sage Attention, any attention mask you see on this, effectively what it does is it pays attention to the important parts of the screen. So like, for instance, here above me, where's that at? You see the ceiling here. That doesn't change. No matter how much I move around, that's going to always be staying the same. And if you don't have good attention masks, what happens is you end up spending resources just recreating the same thing over and over and over again. The attention masks are intelligent ways of saying, what is the actual important parts of the thing? And let's focus our resources onto that. Okay. So that's what Sage Attention is. And we'll go ahead and we can right click on the purple area and we can just click bypass and it will undo that. Well, actually, you know what? Look at that. I'm doing it manually. He's added a clip here. This enable optimizations. You can just click on that and notice it will. Oh, well, it puts these ones. Okay. I guess these ones we do need to actually, we're going to right click on it and go bypass, get these things working. And the same thing, he's added the T-cache optimizations. And essentially what T-cache does is it effectively doubles your, or not doubles, but it adds to the amount of frames you have. So if you can get away with 90 frames, this uses the technology to expand it, say, to 120 frames. So that's really good stuff there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and have those in there. You need to make sure that you have the Sage Attention and all that installed. If you don't have a copy of that, go in there. You can go to comfy.getgoingfast.pro. Okay. And over here, I have a free installer for Comfy UI, the manual installation. And what I would do is go grab this 12.6 one. You need to make sure you have Big CUDA 12.6 or 12.8 installed. I would grab that and install it, and that will have all of your optimizations in there to work with that. Okay. So we got these already. Now we're going to see there's a few other things here that look confusing. Okay. And you're going to notice up here, we've got our single GPU clip loader. Okay. So that's great. That's what we have. We have one video card, very likely. You're going to notice that you need to have this T5 V1 XXL encode there. You need to have that there. Okay. So if you don't have that, we'll talk about it. You'll need to write it up here and you'll need to go download it. Okay. So you would just go T5.V1 and here it is. Like I already typed it in. I don't want to leave that. You typed it in, go search for it, and you would put it in your text encoders. Now notice they've got multi-GPU clip loader. So if you got multi-GPUs, you can use this. I'm going to bet the majority of you do not have multi-GPUs, and it's certainly beyond the scope of what we're doing here. But there you go. See, there's your device. You got your different devices. Okay. So you could play with that if you are so inclined. Okay. And if you know how to do it. All right. Now down here, we get to, again, it adds these little connectors. Okay. He's over here. The lines are missing. If I click this, you can, these effectively have little invisible lines that you can't see that he's pushed off, but they go to these things. So now if I go that, notice it's going to, bypass that. And then I can turn on the multiple GPU. Okay. So easy way to do that. Okay. Then he has what is called this distort labor loader. So effectively what this is going to do, and let's go ahead and I guess, is there a way to, okay, I was looking to see if there was a quick, well, here we go. So you've got your quick little switch here. Effectively what this does, it's the same thing, you got to have the model in here. Okay. Is it uses your computer's RAM as virtual VRAM. So let's say your computer VRAM just isn't quite up to snuff. You could try to use this to make some extra. So down here it says here, change the model name, enable the distort loader to load bigger quants and prevent out of memory areas with 10 to 15 gigabytes or so virtual VRAM, depending on your system. So 32 gigabytes, and that is going to be your computer memory. You can usually set it to 14. Okay. So, whatever. The bottom line is you can play with this, keep it low, depending on your computer memory. Okay, so I played with this and it didn't do anything. So I thought, well, I'll try loading a bigger model like a FP16, a full, or a BF16, and it didn't do anything for me. And in fact, when I did it with lower stuff, it actually made worse stuff. So I'm just going to say, probably for the vast majority of us, don't worry about it because it's not what you want. We're get going. We want to get going fast, and so we're going to use the normal loader down here. Okay, and notice it says GGUF. Okay, this is found by actually, if you needed to add one, you just go add node, and once you install the GGUF nodes, it's here under this one here. Where did that go? It's under bootleg, and then you could see you could add it right there, and this actually loads your GGUFs. Now, if I click on it, you're going to see I've got a few different quants here. It loads up to a default. So if you don't have this in here, when you press run, it'll throw an error because it doesn't exist. Okay. But I've got Q4, I've got a Q8 in here. So Q4 is going to be small. It's going to be heavily quanted, a lot of numbers missing. Grab the 8 because that's generally the 8 is pretty much, it's as close to the big stuff as you're going to get. And it's usually enough. Okay. So I got both to show you, but you got to get those set. You got to download those. Okay. Again, if you're member of Get Going Fast, or you just do a one-time purchase, you can actually get the model manager. Okay. And all you gotta do is type ltx.getgoingfast. Brings you over here and you're going to see that a GGUF version can be found. Click here. And this actually will bring you over here where you can get the model manager. And from the model manager, you can actually, let me see if I can show you really quickly. You can actually just click around. See that here, add or remove. You can just click and then you can add different quants. Okay. It shows you all the quants you need. If you want to delete one, you can delete them. So that way it helps manage your space. Okay. But regardless, you go over to Yah and you get whatever client. So let's go ahead and we'll do a Q4 for now. Okay. You're going to need to load your V8E. So again, you got to look here and see what it's asking for. This 13B 0.9.7. So you go ahead, make sure that you have that here, type it in there, go over to another tab, enter it, and then download it and put it in your V8E folders, which looks something like, let's see if I can get you there. Hold on. That's just going to be here, your Comfy UI. You click into your models, and there's your V8E folder. So that's where you'll end up saving that. Okay. So you get all that set up. Okay. You've got your Sage attention. You've got your FP16. You've got your Tcache going on. This is all ready to go. You've got a clip in here. So this is your prompt, a beautiful place in nature. Now, I want you to notice this is ITV. So you're going to have an image which relates with that. So this doesn't necessarily relate with beautiful place in nature, but you could say an angel floats to the sky or something like that. Right? And you get that already. Now go over here. Notice here's your frame rate. So again, this is how many frames, this is how many seconds long essentially your thing is going to be. Over here, we're going to have a oh, this is a little different. Okay. So they've got two different frame rates going here. And I guess, yeah, so I'm not sure why we have two here, but what we're going to do is whatever you put there, you need to make sure it's over here as well, frame rate. And then there should be something here about frame count, which we'll find here. And frame count is essentially the number of frames that we're making. And then you divide that by the frame rate, and that's how long the whole thing is. Here we go. Number of frames. So you can see it's 97. So 97 divided by 24. I think 24 is going to go in there 4 times. So it's going to be a 4-second video. Okay. If you made this, if you push this up to 100, look at it skips up to 105. So it wants to go in increments of 6. And if you have that same thing with a frame rate of 24, that's going to be or say we lowered this to 20, then what we're going to have is a 5-second video. Okay. So you can play with that. You're pretty much ready to go. Okay. Oh, look at it. Actually does have the enable ITV mode. So actually what you can do is if you click that, it will cancel that out. And then you can just do a text to video. Okay. Now LTX text to video is not always the great. The great thing about LTX is throwing in your own images and getting good stuff. But so whatever. Okay. You can play around with that just by using that little clicker right there. The rest of this stuff, again, you can turn it off and on by, pressing these things. Okay. That was what I was looking for earlier. I did it manually. I guess it was down here. And you can always read these notes. Okay. We're not going to spend time reading that. It's hyperactive. And now we get over here to the width and height. So notice it's 768. So it's going to be wider than it is tall. Now 768 is a fairly high. That's not quite high definition. It's almost high definition, right? Was that it's like 720p. Remember back in the day when the TVs came out, everyone was like, I need a 1080, but all they can afford is a 720. So probably what I would do here is, especially just for testing, is turn this way down. So let's look at the size of this thing. That's just a square. So let's go down low. I'm going to go to something like 480. So if we type in here if we type in here 480, that'll help with the speed of the generation. Okay. Same thing for testing. Maybe I'll turn the frame rate's fine at 20, but maybe I'll turn down the frame rate to 20. Because I tried running it once, it did not turn out very. Okay. But let's go ahead and we could see we've got everything set, our weight, our width, height, the number of frames. So they've got 2 of these. I'm not quite sure actually. Base sampler, the video combined. Here's what I would do is I would just make sure they're all on the same page. Okay. So, and then we can click run and it's going to go through there. Now, I don't know what happened with this. That obviously was not very good, but let's do another run here and we'll go enable ITV. Let's turn this off and let's go an angel floats into the sky over there. Let's click run on that one so we can try both. Let both of those run. Okay. So this took 554 seconds to make that one. And the reason that's going to take us so long is because I have so much AI stuff going on. So I'm going to cancel this thing here. Now, it's not going to take that long. Usually it's going to take you 60. If you have if you have a good amount of VRAM, it'll take you less than a minute. Okay. If you're running 16 gigabytes, it might take you 3 minutes, but it shouldn't take that long. Okay. But I have a ton of AI stuff going on with the system. And so it's competing for resource. But anyway, so that's how you're going to use this. You can see the progress bar up here. If you are wanting to know if it is indeed running, what you can always do is pop over to your command terminal and you can see over here that it's working as well. So that's a simple way to kind of like, does it freeze? Is it frozen or not? Because I will tell you one thing about LTX is that sometimes I found you'll run it a couple times and then it stops working. So like somehow it does something to your system resources. I don't know what it is, but, and sometimes I have to stop it, the whole Comfy UI, the server. Okay. And the server is the command terminal. Okay. So what this over here is not the server. This is like the screen. Okay. So sometimes I have to close this down and then reload the whole thing. And then it'll start working again. But right now it's working. Okay, so one other thing we're going to talk about really quickly before we go here is these quant sizes. So notice, that was a quant 4 we used, all right? That might explain too why the quality was not good over here. But I want to show you a few things here with quants, and I want you to keep your expectations low, well, not low, tempered, particularly when doing text to video. Again, image to video is where this thing really shines, but I want to show you some stuff. This is a very low quant. This is like a quant 3. So this is a girl dancing on the beach. Obviously, that's messed up. Okay. You could get better than this, but this is kind of the example of what happens when you start cutting off numbers. Okay. It gets less precise. All right. And you see, we're moving up a little bit higher quant. It's a little bit better, but still it's messed up. Okay. But again, this is just one example. You can get good stuff out of these quants. I'm just kind of showing you these as an extreme. So here's one. This one's getting better. You actually have some texture in the face, but it's still weird. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. But it's getting better. Then you get a little bit more up here and gets fuzzy, but at least you're not having flickering parts or missing body parts. Okay. The real strength, again, well, the point being, play around with what quants you want. Try around with different prompts. The better you prompt it, the better stuff you're going to get. But I'm going to tell you the real strength of this lays with the image to video. So you throw in an image that already exists, and it's going to be able to do a lot better stuff with it. Okay. I wouldn't worry too much about text to video. Image to video is where this is at. Okay. Stick with your Honeywon or your Honeywon, your WAN for actual video generation. And use this for image to video. Okay. So let's pop over here really quick. Let's see if this has finished. This is still running, so I'm not going to worry about it because I would rather just get going with the day. But there you have it. There's your LTX. Okay. If you want to use the upscalers, all this, all you got to do is undo those. And there's probably a bypass mechanism over here somewhere. But even if there's not, you can just right click on them and go to bypass and undo it. And then you can have your upscaler. But you know, for my money, it's not worth it. If I had a ton of VRAM, where I was doing this stuff in seconds, could you imagine how awesome that would be? Like, you can just get this done in I mean, because I can get something done in 60 seconds. Can you imagine if you get this done in like 4 seconds? That's incredible. Then I would be using scale. But we are single GPU users for the most part. So there you have it. Okay. LTX 13b. Make sure you have your models downloaded and put into the correct folders. Okay. It's pretty easy to figure out. These are going to go in your UNet folder. Okay. The quants will go in your UNet folder. The VAE is going to go in your VAE folder. All right. If Sage Attention is not working, if you're getting errors, just turn it off. Okay. And try it without it. Okay. And do that. Again, if you need an installation, you can always just go to comfy.getgoingfast.pro and I would grab the 12.61 hit. Okay. This is the recommended one. Install that will have your Sage Attention. If you want to go ahead and get the model manager so that you can download and do it'll install all those for you, get you going along with the workflow, you can go to ltx.getgoingfast.pro. And then there's the good guff version can be found here. Okay. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And it doesn't, this other one that we had, the FP8 is awesome, does high quality stuff, but you have to do some extra work with it. If you're finding that you want to get a little bit better quality stuff, go with this one. This one works great, but there's a little bit more work with it. But if you just want to get going and you want to be able to do it with your lower video cards, this is your Huckleberry right here. Okay. With that, we're going to end it for the day. Hope you guys have an excellent one. Be good to each other. Enjoy the weather. We're getting close to summertime. And not that that means anything to us who sit around on the computer all day, but it is kind of nice to step outside every once in a while and feel that sunshine. So hope you enjoy that. Do come check us out on the Discord. Come and hang out with us and share with us what you got going on. Hit us up on the Reddits. Okay. We'll treat you good over there. Come find us. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on X. Be sure to follow us here on YouTube. If you like what you see, you know, feel free to give us a shout out here with a thanks. And, you know, I guess with that, we are going to leave her there. So we'll catch you on the other side. Yo.